Alright, just to reiterate for anybody new joining, this was a mid Sona game that I played a while back in Silver Elo. Just want to analyze it and give you the pros and cons of what I did. I ended up winning and destroying pretty much the Ari and kind of give you guys an idea or perspective of how the Ari could have changed things. So, as most already know, I'm typically always preoccupied since this is just me playing for fun. Right here, I'm just waiting to see what the Ari is going to do because the Ari is essentially stronger than I am, lower at lower level. Sona isn't necessarily your typical mid laner, so she doesn't necessarily have the stats to sustain. So, well, we shall see how things go. I wanted to see if the I was right here. I was testing the Ari to see if Ari is going to go aggressive. Let's go back there real quick. So, dun, 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 dun. All right. So right there, I went ahead and pressed my power just to do. I did a little bit of poke and all that stuff, and I right here I'm noticing I'm taking the CS. My next option is gonna be either one of these two. I'm checking out at this time, and this is how you gauge lower elo players. Whether you're a mid laner or a top laner, or even if you're playing in the duo lane bot, this is essentially how you're going to assess the enemy. And every game that I play, I'm always assessing my opponent, the direct opponent in front of me. So if I'm playing a duo lane, I'm assessing two people. If I'm playing a solo lane, I'm obviously assessing one person. I'm currently not really worried about where the jungler is. Uh, so yeah, right here, I'm getting close to the second wave just landed, and now I'm auto attacking. I landed my Q with uh no interruption or no real feedback from the Ari. So with no relative feedback from the Ari, so I know that the Ari is just looking to CS, and I know that I'm about to have an opening window to poker because she has three minions right here that she's gonna want to get. I don't necessarily have to get one. So once I get this minion, I'm free to auto attack her all I want because I don't have any other minion that I need to focus on. She has three different minions that she has to get. She can get this one, and then these two are she's gonna miss. Most likely, she would miss one of these two. So she's gonna get one and two, and miss the other. So I'm already, you know, slowly starting to create my lead. At least this is the plan that I had. So let's see if that plays out. So I see that she gets that. She Qs, hits me with the Q. I move to the side, and it's just as I say. With she got two. She missed the other, and yeah, I stepped forward there to see if I could poke, and I missed one minion. So at this time, I missed one minion. Is she has one minion left. So I am currently two minions ahead of her, and I killed all the minions except for one. So I took the CS and I acquired the gold for all 10 CS, all 11 CS. Crap, I don't know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. This is the good thing about doing it live. But I'm acquiring more gold and more XP than she is. Right now, she's still a minion behind in XP. In gold, I'm three minions ahead. Because of my positioning and testing where she's going to stand. I've acquired an early lead that I'm going to exploit very soon. So through my positioning, I've been neutrally positioned. I'm not aggressive. I'm not passive, the way she's been positioning, she's always under the minions. She's she's neither she's neither aggressive nor defensive as well, but she's in um a less than ideal location for her to farm as an Ari. Because with her, because as a Sona, I can't necessarily farm well. Your auto attack is not great. You don't have the necessary spells to CS. So her plan should have been to just lane bully me out. Whether or not she's never seen a Ari, I mean Sona mid, and maybe she's just taking it easy. But that mindset of I've never seen a Sona, I'm gonna take it easy, is going to be the beginning of her downfall. And I'm also playing to that to that to that idea. People don't necessarily see Sona mid, so what they're not going to understand what to do against it. It's very simple. If you don't necessarily see anything or if you aren't regularly going against Sona mids, then all you have to do is understand the basics of Sona. Even if you don't know the basics of Sona, know the basics of the champion that you're playing. Ari is a very, very good champion to push the lane in. That's typically the best bet you want to do. You don't want to overextend and get yourself killed, but you can easily push the lane in so that I will have a harder time CSing no matter who you are. It doesn't matter if I'm Sona, if I'm another champion. I will have a very difficult time at a very early um, time of the game to CS under the tower. So Ari did not play to her strength in the beginning. So let's continue on. So right here, I'm just checking it out to see what she's doing. Missed a melee minion there. For the Kang minion, it's preferred. The reason why I use my spell there is because that would have been too far out. Typically, around this time is where the jungler would start ganking, around 3 minutes. As you see, our jungler is currently doing the scuttle, so we can ideally say that their jungler is relatively close by. And there he goes, he pops up top. So here, I'm still playing to the fact that the... So here, let's rewind that real quick. So right here, I see that the Kanye is coming, or I shouldn't say Kanye, but that's what I like to call him, Kane. Kane's coming to gank, and I'm still playing passive. I'm not necessarily going aggressive with my champion, and the reason why is because I don't want to spook my opponent. I want to keep playing the way I normally play. I've been playing Sona this whole time during laning phase just to test them out, and I don't necessarily change my demeanor or anything like that. So as you see, I wait until he auto attacks, and just to comment on this auto attack, this is a relatively bad time to auto attack. You're gonna auto attack and you're gonna aggro all the minions, and that was a really good timing for Kanye to come in and gank, because I did come the Sona Ari did fall forward to get me. So once he came in, I went ahead and positioned myself to the other side down here. This is where I want to go. I don't want to go over here, and the reason why I don't necessarily want to go over here is we don't like I would pull all the minions over here. So I just want to walk through here. We're gonna pincer him, get a couple summer spells if possible. It didn't go well, but we got her to think now. We got her to react. She used a pot. So we got something going on. That's all that necessarily matters. So here I am trying to push a little bit faster. And the reason why I want to push a little bit faster is I want to reset the lane, because I have more minions than she does. So that means that my wave is slowly going to push against her. So here, she made the mistake of running into my canyon wave. So let's see how this goes. And right there, how I counter, because she could have charmed me. So how I counter her coming to me, because I wanted to avoid the J4, because J4 had long disappeared. So here, the best thing to do is to just ignore what I'm doing and grab these minions. If you're the Ari, this is fine. You want the wave to push to you, because you could push anytime. But right here, where you run through the minion wave, is not a great idea. Right here, the Ari could have cleared and then charmed right here. But what I did, because I knew that that was a possibility, I went ahead and already saw her move around. I turned on my mobility aura and I moved around the minion. So right here is when she could have charmed me. Even if she did, she aggroed all of these people or all these minions, and she also aggroed the strongest minion. So even if she had auto attacked, I would have taken this fight. And if I really wanted to, I would have just chased her down. I have I have barrier, so it's like I would have definitely won this fight. And I canceled it but through positioning. So I just nullified her positioning. So there we go. We notice where the J4 is, so now we can play accordingly. We've seen the J4, now we can play either aggressive or passive. I choose the latter, meaning I choose to play a little bit more passive because it's a Sona. I'm not here to kill people. I'm here to sustain, do well. I'm better off later on. So let's see how this Ari takes the damage. So if you guys notice, I'm not necessarily I'm sacrificing the minions I can't get, and I'm taking the ones that I can. Can't get that one. Can't get those two, so I don't bother trying. Right here, I was thinking about where the J4 could have been. So I've just been farming this whole time. Nothing aggressive. And we'll soon see the results of just not necessarily putting myself in danger. I could easily put myself in danger, but it's like I'm a Sona in a lane that I'm not necessarily supposed to be in, so I'm playing it relatively safe. So through the positioning of where my jungler is, he started red, and since he's here now, I know that G4 should essentially be somewhere up here. Because a while ago when he was on Scuttle, G4 was up here. So yeah. Normally, if the Kanye started blue, it would mimic exactly, I wouldn't say exactly, but relatively where the J4 is. So that's how I typically know where the enemy jungler is. Here I'm just focused on CS and not worried too much about things, making sure my mana and health is, sustained so that if things do happen, I will be ready. So Kanye said he's on his way, so I'm gonna go put myself in position, get the Q off, got the alt and the flash. That's all that necessarily matters. Now I can take all the CS, and she's gonna lose all of this XP. So she's slowly losing XP. Oh, and they kill Ori. I forgot about that. But it doesn't necessarily matter what my teammates are doing. Like this was a solo queue game, so I essentially played as if I was playing by myself. It sounds very selfish, but if you want to um, consistently climb, you have to rely on yourself, not the people that are con- currently stuck at that elo. Teamwork is always great. Don't get me wrong, but there's a time and place for teamwork, and also know that you are stuck. You're playing with people that only understand the teamwork for this elo. Here I was getting used to my Q damage and my auto attack damage. Typically, it takes for Kanga minions one tower hit or one tower hit and two auto attacks. Typically, I auto attack and then let the tower hit, and then I auto attack for the CS. So yeah. And here's Ari using her spells more to clear the wave. It's a little too late for her to utilize this tactic. So here, I thought Kanye was going to be coming because Ari had no flash. And that's the reason why I missed those minions. I was getting ready to set up. So yeah. So here, I clear the wave, let Kanye take it, and I'm going to make a rotation down, see if I can get anything done. I see that things are going to happen. Let's see, let's see. Alright, let's play that back. Alright. So here, we saw it from the perspective from earlier. So here, we see that they have vision over here. So that's the reason why I'm sticking around right here, cuz I don't want them to see that they have vision yet. That guy went a little too early because he wanted the kill, and that's the reason why he got in trouble. It wasn't necessarily because I couldn't get there on time. It's more so he got selfish. So that's not my fault, and I'm not worried about that. I was more so worried about I'm a Sona. I'm not tanky. I don't have the damage yet. I gotta wait for someone to come and help me. Kanye's on his way. Once he's in, once Kanye is in the en route, I go ahead and come in. Right here, I honestly thought I could save him, but I guess not. I had to position myself for that ulti. Once I was very reluctant to take this fight, and the reason why is because of all these minions. We're taking on a full-on minion wave, but we came out with the win. As you notice, I'm walking. Oh, I'm always positioning away from the threat. Once this guy's taken out and it's 2-on-1, we could turn around and take this. I bury her, and then I just leave. All right. Alrighty. Huh, that's weird. It's glitching. The replay is glitching. That is very weird. Does everybody see this? The replay is glitching. Oh well, we'll leave it at that. That is very weird. Our Kanye is now off the map. I can't even click on him. Cause that's him now. The J4, the Ari. Kanye is glitched inside. That is very weird. Well, I don't remember seeing that. But let's go ahead and restart this. Cause yeah, this is very awkward. All right, let's pause this. Mm. Yeah, that is very weird. Oh well, we'll leave it at that. We just continue on. It doesn't necessarily matter. Yeah, we don't know where Kanye is now. This is gonna be awkward. So let's pause this. What's the time on it? At 11:12. So let's go ahead and restart this. 11:12. That's weird. That is very weird. I don't. I mean, I did watch it before, and it did that, but it didn't necessarily stay like that. So 11:14. Let's go. Right there. The reason why I group was just because I'm a Sona. To be honest, is I'm a Sona. I need to get myself situated, and we're playing a solo queue game. All right, there you go. There's Kanye. It's fixed. So here I have Predator Sona, so I can move around in lane, and this is my solo queue build, where I can move around, steal kills, set myself in position. To be honest, I thought that he was going to ult. I didn't look. I honestly thought that he ultied. He was gonna ulti. But here you gotta push the wave after we're done, and the reason why we gotta push the wave is so that the enemy bot lane does not get this XP. Yes, I could be helping them get dragon, but pushing the wave and denying XP is a little bit more important. So right here, I already know that they're gonna get the dragon, so I stick around and get this wave, just so that the Sivir doesn't get the enemy bot lane doesn't get the Kangen wave. All right, so let's go back and rewatch that. All right, so right here, the reason why I'm going is I'm not looking. I'm not. I know that the bot lane is on their way over, but it's 3 versus 1. Even if the bot lane comes, we should be relatively fine. Right here, I honestly did not think they were going to be this close to where we were. And the moment I saw them, I back off. This was a perfect pull by the Pike. At this moment, this is when we know we should back off, and this is essentially where I back off. So um, the Kasai made the mistake of going back in, and it is not my job to try to save him because if I try, I would die too. So I realized that, and I just back off. So that's the explanation of that. And here we just back off. The reason why we just back off is these guys are just going to get the minion wave. And they're going to push it in. I'm not going to necessarily lose anything. I'm going to go back to my lane. So right here, my current goal is not to necessarily take a tower yet. Although that may sound counterintuitive, is to wrap myself up to be able to take the towers. Because I'm playing an off champion in the off lane, I need to set myself up so that I can get the job done. That's the reason why I'm playing Predator. That's the reason why I'm doing a lot of things. And I noticed that the Ori isn't necessarily Roman to capitalize on a lot of the things. So I know that if I can get myself in position to a lead, I can easily take over the game. So I just consistently do that. That's the goal that I'm playing with. If I had the goal of I just want to win the game through the means of taking down towers, I would stick to that. Sometimes, it's easier to stick to the guns that you know. And I'm slowly but surely getting putting myself in the position of being capable of carrying the game. So right here, the ideal thing, if I were to suggest it to other players, if players are still playing and getting better, I would not suggest doing what I'm doing currently because my goal is to get myself fed. That's the reason why I'm moving to other lanes for the fights. What I would suggest newer players do is stick to the wave because you just killed the mid laner. You have the opportunity to do a lot more damage here, to acquire more gold, and to put yourself in a lead in that way. The reason why I'm going bot lane is yes, kills typically can set you up to a quicker lead, so that's what I'm betting for. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes staying in the lane is the best option. Sometimes going for the kill is the best option. It's a matter of what you do with the time that you have, as well as kind of how things play out. And that's the bet that I'm playing with. So I'm all in for that bet. Um, mm, mm, mm. So I go ahead, loop around. So because I saw that they already here, that's let me explain the reason why it didn't go according to plan. So I'm already here, and the enemy and our teammates they're already chasing them. So this guy's super low. This guy's already trying to fight this guy, and they're potentially trying to dive. So it's very, very obvious that something's gonna happen. And then, they obviously see that, so it's like it spooks them. So once I see that, I go ahead and back off. Yeah, spaghetti code. So here, I cleared that wave. The Ari did not acquire the canyon wave or the canyon for that wave. So here is where a lot of low elo mess up. Right at this port. So I'm clearing the wave, and a lot of low elos would right here. They would stick around. Once you clear that, they would try to stick around and try to take these three minions. That's when you know you're overextending. So it's like yes, we knew where the J4 was, but we don't know if he went straight to a side lane or anything like that. So we have no relative vision around us. So there's no reason for me to acquire these three minions. It's only gonna give me 30 gold, 30, 42 gold. So there's no point. 42 gold is not worth my life. So, especially when I have a 450 bounty on my head. So I go ahead and go back. That I did not think was going to happen. I did not think I was going to get charmed, but it didn't necessarily matter. I was just waiting for the Kangen wave anyways. So here I see that he gets into a fight. I go ahead and try to catch up to get some assistance, and I did. I'm just looking for stacks currently. I see that there's a red there. I don't necessarily take it out. The reason why I don't take it out is I know where it is. Yes, I can acquire more gold, but I know where it is, so I don't necessarily need to take it out now. I can take it out whenever I want to. So here I want to set bot up to see if we can get something done. Right here I should have hit the plat so I could see these, but I don't, and it doesn't really matter. The ball's in my, like, I have the ball. It's my choice of what I want to do now. I technically control the mid lane now, so it's like I can do relatively what I want to do, but I have to do it quick. So roughly around this time is when I'm gonna start looking for more progressive plays. Here I'm assessing this. Well, actually no, I remember in this game here I acquired a phone call from my girlfriend, so I stopped. That's a big fight, but I would have gone down there, finish my tier, my Ceres. And the reason why I peddled her down is just to get down there faster. Cause I know if a fight's my team's looking for a fight, I want to be there. I want to. It's what I always tell people. If you are with your teammates, you're going to incite a fight. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Because what I'm betting on, like I said earlier in the game, I'm betting on my superior knowledge of team fighting as well as positioning to get us wins, as well as Sona. I have a massive CC, and people know how to fight. So, or in all elos, people are they naturally know how to fight. So, yeah. So here we're just looking for openings, and I'm staying aggressive, but I'm also positioning myself in a way to where I don't necessarily get caught by being overextended. And the reason why I'm taking this out is a fight's going to ensue relatively close, so we need to take away their vision now. That Thresh made the mistake of overextending. We now have taken away his flash and all. So now the reason why we're starting the dragon, or at least I'm sticking around the dragon, is because I'm looking to incite a fight. I'm looking to poke. I'm looking to do damage, hoping that the enemy team would mess up and do something. We got that, and let's see, we can snowball from there. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly what I'm playing for, which is consistency in getting putting myself in a position to carry the game. Now this is a different method that I normally tell people, but it's the method that I chose this game, and I can show a different game where I just split push all day. But that would be relatively boring. Fighting it all has it all has to do with awareness of where you are and what your job is. So you have to understand two things. Well, I shouldn't say. I should say fighting well requires two things. Fighting in itself does not only requires you to understand where the enemy is. So here, the reason why I stopped going back was because uh the Ari kept pushing it in. So I'm gonna, it's free gold. I don't need to go back yet. Nothing's really progressing, so I could stick around. Now that I've cleared it, I could back off now because the Ari is gonna go back and probably clear, and the Ari is there. You go. So that means that the enemy canyon is still gonna be healthy by the time I arrive to lane, and it is. There's the canyon wave, so it's like I didn't necessarily miss the canyon. So I'm still acquiring gold. I still have myself in the lead. Now I'm running to the team fight because that is my goal. Right here, I'm just focused on basically playing a secondary support so that I can acquire stacks and just be the Sheen Soraka that everybody knows. Here, I wanted to pull them out to the so that our Kanye can flank, but they didn't take the bait, so I go ahead and just pull them back. And the reason why you want to pull them back is because it'll create a push for your team or for your team's favor. The wave is going to crash a lot closer to your side than the enemy side, so it crashed here rather than over here. So what Ari is doing is fine, pushing it in, but the Ari is consistently overextending though. So here ICCS, I'm just getting myself in a position to where I could lead the team in fights, because I'm inciting the fights. So I'm creating the opening for the fights to happen, and I'm just allowing my teammates to fight, and I'm making sure that I can support them when it happens. So this is essentially what you can do as a support player, a support Sona player if you want, or support mage. Here I do damage. I'm inciting the fight by poking and by being in position to where I can possibly get attacked, but I really want them to jump on me. So right here, I incited the fight. Just doing damage from afar, getting damages, and I'm kiting whenever I can. That, I did not think that. So this is the mistake I made. So right here, this was a good kill. But right here, the moment that I see Timo is not here, it was a 5v4 to begin with. Right here is where I should have gone straight up. But I choose to go away. So that happened, and I should have flashed right here instead of go across. Honestly, no, I remember this. I fat fingered it, and instead of clicking the flash, I didn't click the flash. I just clicked over here, and then I walked around. I remember that. But mistakes happen. The enemy team gets that kill. Let's see how much that mistake costs us. So, before things happen, we're only 1k ahead, 1.4. So after everything happens, fast forward it. After the end of things, so we're still. So they've acquired essentially 1,000 gold, roughly 700 gold. No, 200. So yeah, so they closed the gap down. So that was my first mistake throughout the game. So roughly during that time, that's when I started to not believe in my teammates. So I'm gonna take things into my own hands and just I feel that I am ready to carry the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and place myself in that situation. Yeah, that pike was pretty bad. This whole game, like my carries aren't doing well, cause like I've been setting them up the whole game, but it is what it is. And that's the reason why I say any game is relatively winnable as long as you understand where you're positioning. So going again, constantly putting myself in the situation of making sure that my enemy just keeps fighting for me because I keep putting myself in the position of I want to incite fights. That is the goal, and I want to stick to my goal. I'm not off like I'm not off split pushing. I'm not off doing whatever. I'm surprised. If I recall, because I played a ton of Sona games, and this was like probably 2 days ago. So I thought that this was the game where I went ahead and went to split push, because split pushing wouldn't have been that bad, because I was already Shin Sona, and I was doing relatively a lot of damage. So let's back that up and explain everything. All right, so right here, just like before, I keep wanting to incite a fight, and the reason why is because I'm relatively not doing bad. I actually do a lot of damage. Their mid laner is pretty much non-existent. Our bot laner will do damage. That's all I really care about is me doing damage afar. Because I know I can do damage afar. I just need meat shields. So I go ahead and try to incite this fight. I didn't mean to get caught. I got caught. Oh well. I incited the fight. Anyways, I noticed that they don't go on me. And right here, because the reason why I don't go for this guy is because I have to go through these two guys and the Thresh ult here. So I go ahead and stick to these two guys and just do the damage. So right there, I do the damage and I stun them so that they don't necessarily do any more damage to me or my front line. Because I know Kanye is going to go ahead and go take care of the back line. I honestly did not think he was going to ulti me here. And when he ulted me here, I just utilized all of my spells or all of my shields to make sure he knew that he could not do anything to me. And once he saw that, he was just like, you know what? F it. I'm going to go do something else. And I go ahead and put myself in position to help my teammates. Now, the other Fed carry that we have, which is Kanye, has gone down now. So now I have to put myself in a position to where, okay, we might possibly have to retreat. But I see that the Teemo's coming. So I put myself in a situation where I can still poke, I can still incite a fight if I need to. And then Pike. gets this lucky pull right here on the Ari. Gets the damage done, 9999. And that's essentially why how we won the fight. It was just poor positioning and poor targeting from the front lines of the enemy team. What our team did was very, very, very messy. But what I did was I made sure that I knew what I was doing at all times. That's the reason why I would go back here. That's the reason why I'm positioning, because like I said, I was getting ready to retreat. I said the team was coming, but I positioned myself to where we can retreat if possible. I see that he's charging up his thing. I honestly didn't think he was going to land it. Spikes hasn't been really great this game. He lands it, but I was in position to retreat if needed. Got the kill. Let's fast forward a bit. Alright. And now we are back to progressing the game through just team fighting over and over, because that was my original goal. And the reason, and I remember I had a theory behind this playing mid Sona was because the elo that I was at, people tend to fight a lot. So I remember telling myself, I wonder what happens if I play champion mid lane that does damage and can incite fights. Um, Instead of split pushing, because how I progress more efficiently is through split pushing. So I wanted to test this theory out, and this was one of those games, I believe. There are other games. There's another game where I tried to incite a lot of fighting, but the team that I was on did not want to fight, and I think we ended up losing that one. I think I went 1-0, if I remember correctly. Here I'm just acquiring more gold because I need to get my build going. So right here, the reason why I'm taking the jungle is because there's nothing I can essentially do. I can't go back mid and push. I'm just gonna get flanked. You don't want to be overextended. I can't push bot because I'm just gonna be overextended. And it goes back to what I said my goal was. My goal is to incite fights with my teammates around me, not necessarily split push and acquire pressure, you know? Alright. We're gonna go ahead. The fight starts. We're gonna go ahead and try to incite something with our Baron. And if I remember correctly, right here, I'm sticking to the guy that's kind of like fed, so that he and I can do something. All right, so let's back that up. So here, like I said, I was sticking around with the guy that I placed my bet on because I want to incite fights. This guy tends to fight a lot, and he's doing relatively pretty well. Whether it be his skill level or his kills, it doesn't really matter. He's doing well. I'm just gonna stick with him because that's what I want to do. So here, I go ahead and try to kill the Ari first. The reason why is because Ari holds a lot of CC. Ari can actually still do damage. So we want to take out the threat. Kanye's already trying to kill the Sivir, so I don't necessarily have to do much. I honestly thought the ult was gonna land on them, and like just like before, I know that the G4 is a non-threat. So even when the J4 jumps on me, I don't necessarily have to worry because J4 isn't gonna be necessarily doing any damage. Here, I honestly thought that the Camille was gonna jump on me and ulti me, and I wasn't necessarily scared of it because I already knew the level difference. Camille's 2 and 4. level 13. I was level 15. That's the reason why I stutter step there, because I wanted to incite the Camille to jump on me so that I could shield up and get my teammates to come back on me. And this right here, I incited this, got them got them to commit, get the kill. I'm gonna get these guys to commit, get the barrier, and got the kill. So that was all due to my understanding of the skill level difference, and the level difference. So I already knew. So let's go back and watch that. So we go in. I honestly thought that ulti was gonna get the Thresh as well too. It did not. I saw that the Thresh came and get me. It came and got me. I thought that somebody else was gonna come through. That's the reason why I backed off. Noticed that he did not, so I turned around and fought. So here I know my strength. A lot of people don't know my strength because it goes back to what I said earlier on in the game. I'm playing a Sona mid. They People don't necessarily go against the Sona mid, so you think that the Sona is not gonna do damage, but I am. So right here is when I go, oh shit, there's a Camille coming. And then I notice he is level 13. And I'm not necessarily worried. So the Camille I saw that the Camille was committed to the Teemo instead. Which I don't know why the Teemo was so scared. Granted, he was probably trying to go for these kills. But that's typically what happens. I already knew that the Camille was going to do that. I mean, the Teemo was gonna do that. This Elo is relatively selfish, so I didn't really care if he killed those two guys. If he killed those two guys, it was even better. But right here, I stutter step because I want these two guys to come get me. And the reason why is because I still have my server shield. I still have my barrier. I don't have my barrier, but I still have my server shield, and I do relatively a lot of damage. So the moment I see that he ults me, instead of running away from my teammate, because Teemo's turned around now, I go ahead and go as close as possible so that the Teemo can come help. Once I see that the J4 is coming, I go ahead and move away because Teemo's already here. It didn't matter who Teemo attacked. I would have preferred Teemo to attack the Camille because the Camille is relatively healthier, but the Camille is the damage dealer. J4 is not necessarily a damage dealer. Yes, he has the cleaver, but that's all he has. I move away to the side so that J4 has like has to come and EQ me the full length instead of being there. So and then I just move around and I see that Teemo was on J4. He's getting low, so that's when I turn around and kill, or I know that we can kill the J4. Right here, I knew that the Camille was committed now, so I was just positioning myself and making sure that I do damage and kite. And that's essentially it. It was all due to positioning and understanding of the level difference. And the more and more fights I incite, the more we're going to get more fed and more create a bigger gold lead. Honestly, right here, I did not think that the my bot lane and Teemo was going to acquire the towers, but they did, so that's a plus. So right here, I go ahead and Predator in because, like I said before, my whole basis to winning this game is inciting fights. Not necessarily because I think that my team can win. It's more so I feel like I can win. So there's a difference there. You don't want to incite fights and expect your teammates to do their job. I don't expect my teammates to ever do anything. I expect them to fight. That's it. And I'm going to manipulate that fight in our favor through positioning and through utilizing my skills as a Sona. So I flash ult. I That was kind of like a greedy play, but if we can take him out, it'll be a fair 4 versus 4 fight. We take him out, get the kill. That was a greedy play. I knew it. But we are inciting fights. So that plan backfired. All right. So let's see how I adjust after that. This guy got here quick. I don't remember seeing this from my point of view. But yeah, so that team white was due to my me inciting them. So 2, 3, 30, 30 seconds. Yep. All right. So right here, I honestly knew that he was gonna come around, but I thought that he was gonna ulti and E. That's the reason why I flashed. He did throw the E, but I honestly thought he was gonna ult and E. I landed, got the kill, and that was greedy at me. So that incited a fight right there. So let's talk about what I could have done. All right. So here I read. So I read the play correctly, and what I could have done instead was wait and see what this happens. How if he's gonna get a pull. I already know that this guy's already inside. Why the hell is this guy glitched again? Oh wait, no, it's not. Or is it? Yeah, it is glitched again. But anyways, yeah, it's glitched again. But anywho, uh, that is weird. It is glitched again. But yeah, so I what I could have done was wait for the pike rather than uh do the rather than do what I try to do there. That is weird. Excuse me. Alright, so right here, what the enemy team could have done rather than take the dragon, because the dragon is relatively insignificant. What they could have done was go ahead and push bot lane to acquire this tower and to acquire pressure on this tower. So if they all had focused that tower, they would have gotten that tower a lot quicker, and the Sivir wouldn't have died. So let's go back and look at that decision. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see how long it takes the enemy team to take dragon, alright? Now 29:05. See how long it takes them for these three guys to take the dragon. 29:05 was when they started the dragon. So it took them 14, 19, no, that's 16 seconds. It took them 16 seconds to acquire the dragon. Within that 16 seconds, they would have been over here already to acquire either this tower or to even manhandle this tower to acquire possibly two towers. So they got a Cloud Drake, or no, yeah, a Cloud Drake. Just that they got an objective that didn't necessarily give global gold compared to something that would have given the the whole team gold. And because they didn't do this, they didn't acquire that team gold, and this guy died because of it. Granted, he died with Sivir died because of Sivir. She should have attacked the tower instead of me. Uh, but yeah, so in that situation as a team, you should. This is the reason why I don't ever go for dragons. It's because people are tempted at getting dragons. Dragons aren't necessarily significant to the win of the game. And I hope that you guys can see that acquiring a tower, possibly two towers, would have been a lot more significant in sacrificing that tower or that dragon. So yeah, would have been a better choice to take the tower. Here I'm just again that we can't necessarily do anything yet as a team, so I'm just wrapping up the gold. Silver did not finish the tower. No. So here, this is when people that relatively play with me pretty consistently understand that we just push it down mid is what I call it. And the reason why is because we're winning the team fights relatively, and we want to incite a team fight right now. I want to incite a team fight, so I'm gonna go to where I can incite a team fight. I'm gonna push this so that we can acquire a little bit of pressure, and then I'm gonna go look for a fight, whether it be from mid or on the side lanes. So I see a easy picking. Let's go. I go. Let's go see if we can get him. So right here, again, I go ahead and put myself in a position to where I want to incite a fight. But now, see where I'm positioned now? I'm no longer cocky. I'm no longer doing what I did prior. And the reason why is because I learned my lesson. That was a greedy play. I learned from it. I go, okay, cool. It happened. Let's move on. I make sure that we are now in position, and I'm just letting the Pike do whatever he wants. If he gets caught, I could I could go on from there. If he doesn't get caught, I'm gonna make sure that if we get into a fight, it's on my terms. And so I see that we need more pressure. And the reason why we need more pressure, oh man, that glitch, that Kanye glitch. The Kanye is still stuck in the silver. So the reason why I say that we need more pressure is because I noticed that they are slow. So this is something that a lot of people don't understand when they're playing solo queue and they're winning through a lot of kills. So when my team is winning through a lot of kills, so we're shoving all the minions into the enemy, and when they are clearing, even though they're not getting any of the CS, they're acquiring more XP at an expedited rate. So even though they're losing the game, they are essentially getting stronger than we are because we aren't necessarily acquiring any XP. We are shoveling XP into the enemy, so we have a time frame for us to finish them off. And I noticed because of my mistake, my greedy play prior, we've lost the time frame. So that's the reason why I went ahead and started moving around to acquire pressure in all lanes so that we can go ahead and incite a fight and let the minions do something. Yes, exactly what Lucifer just said. So now I notice that the enemy team stopped defending. So the only viable option for us to go would be either to set up Baron or to go topside. So I notice that the enemy team's gonna follow because they also want to look for a fight because they know that they're strong. They don't know how strong they are, but they know that they're strong. So that's the reason why I wanted to set up a bush, and that's me pinging. So yes, I read. So that was me calling from. I read the call correctly, Is that Sivir? Oh yeah. Well, I pinged Sivir, but I read the call correctly. I knew they were gonna come up. I honestly thought they were gonna come up through here, but here they come through here. So let's see how this plays out. And those two guys ruin it. So we incite the fight. And the reason why I don't start this fight is positionally, we can get you jumped on by Sivir because I personally knew Sivir was over here. That's the reason why I didn't commit. I'm the person inciting the fight. We don't have a tank. We don't have an actual person to go in. So I'm acting as the carry slash initiator. So the reason why I didn't ulti them because that could have been a very easy ult to like attack them. The Sivir would have just came and killed us in the backside, either through here or through this side, or even just hit this and come over and take our top side. So that's the reason why I backed off from that actual engage, and I reposition us to where we can stay over here. Yeah, this elo is low gold, high silver. I was silver 1 at the time. So that was the reason why I went ahead and backed off from the situation because I knew that we would have lost that uh if we had gone with the play and the enemy team, I don't know why, but they backed off. And thankfully because they backed off, we are now going to I went ahead and said we should play around. I didn't type it out, but I just started pinging. We should play around the Baron. Baron spawning in 12 seconds. We should set up a relative play. So I know that they don't have this warded because I just shot that thing there. They don't have any of this warded, so most likely, because we didn't check this side, they're going to be coming from this side. And I remember telling the Teemo, shroom up this side. So now we've stopped 2 ways. There are 2 entry points. They can only enter from this side and our top side. And there's no way they got up there faster than we did because they were to our left prior to this fight. So this is essentially a free Baron. And that is how you set up a Baron and how you make a Baron call. You understand where the enemy is, and then you understand where the entry points are, and you block off the entry points. So, although I was looking for a fight, the Baron was a better play because the fight that I was looking for was not a great fight for us to take due to our position. Yeah, on the minimap, Kanye is still stuck on to Silver. So here, all we're doing is acquiring a ton of pressure by moving around and consistently doing that. And I'm just seeing how the enemy team reacts because I can move from lane to lane really fast. And I'm starting to realize that they're relatively pretty smart about understanding where to go. So I'm just consistently pushing in the waves to see where they want to defend because they have to defend mid no matter what because that's where super minions are. But the super minions are soon about to despawn, and right there they just despawned. So here we're just looking for one more major fight, and it's gonna turn the tables because this was such a fighty centric game. The enemy team has gotten to the point where it's like if they win a fight, they essentially win the game. If we win a fight, we can essentially win the game. So that's the reason why I'm not inciting fights consistently or like as randomly as I did prior. And this is relatively where people don't understand how to close out the game when you have to start knocking on the enemies in Nexus towers or like the inhibitor towers, and all you have to do is consistently have pressure from one side of the map, and then have pressure from the opposite side. And by pressure, I just mean have your minions knocking on their towers, and that's essentially when you can do your damage or do your poke. Just don't get caught. That's essentially it. Don't be in a position where they can flash engage on you. There's Kanye on top of me. So over here, they're all relatively scared on engaging due to the fact that they know how strong I am now, as well as they know that they have to go defend this tower. So they don't want to engage on me due to that. Where is this Sivir? Because she's glitched. Okay, they have two defending top, three defending mid. They know I can easily kill that guy. So it's like two tanks versus two DPS. They're not gonna necessarily win. That's the reason why if they had gone here, we're gonna get top. If they go on top, we are gonna get mid. So they get the Teemo, and I stay in position to where I don't get. I'm not gonna try to save the Teemo. I'm just here to do damage and do poke. So there, I see that the Teemo's gonna get engaged on. I see that the Teemo's getting ultied. So I position myself to where I can do damage, and I won't be stuck. I'm not committed to the fight. I'm committed to the poke and the pressure. I'm still applying pressure. We just me being where I am. I made these two guys have to. I forced these two guys to utilize their ulti, and the damage from Teemo and I create made her run. So now this is free. So I honestly just sacrificed the Teemo to acquire this right here. Get the kill, and they can't do anything about it. And it looks like our top lane just went ahead and went through everything. Looks like the Kanye died. So that was mispositioned through me. Back this up. So right here, you should back off. You already acquired what you wanted. The next goal would be either to push top or bottom. But right here, I got greedy and tried to kill the if I remember correctly, I tried to kill the J4. I do damage, and I know I do relatively a lot of damage. I did not expect the Ari to be coming back so quick. Get stunned, get taunted, and this is when I die. But yeah, don't get so greedy. I always learn from my mistakes, and if I remember correctly, that was my last death. Because after that, I said to myself, I don't ever talk to people and I don't listen to people. I ping. I mute everybody and I mute their pings and I mute their chat. I mute all chat and I just talk. So if they're listening to me, they listen. If they listen to me, they listen to me. If they don't, they don't. Is Kanye dead? Dead? Let's see. Yes, Kanye is dead. Or is Kanye still on Silver? I don't know. I can't see Kanye. Well, he's still dead, so yeah. So that dragon was relatively fine. Yeah, Kanye is still stuck on that guy. So what that Pike did was just greedy. You just have to let things go. If you wipe and you're slowly going in, don't try to catch people. Just let them leave. Once they leave, you know exactly where they are. They're at their base. They have to reset. So it's like a lot of people make that mistake of going, "Oh, this guy's backing. I'm gonna try to catch him and kill him." It's like, nah, just let him leave. Like again, I'm just there's nothing for me to do, so I'm clearing up the camps. And right here, all we have to do is reset the waves so that we could be in position to acquire a win again, or at least set up the pressure so that I can incite another fight. So right here, they wanted to actually go and go fight bot, but the reason why I didn't want to go fight bot was due to the fact that the wave up top was too iffy. So I said I backed off thinking and wanting to just go top and pushing that in so that we can acquire that. But I saw that they're gonna fight anyways, And since my goal was to incite fights, I went ahead to go back them up because I figured that I'm just gonna try to manipulate my enemy team or my positioning to acquire the win. Yeah, he's still stuck in him. So the pike is, I mean the pike, the Kanye's somewhere up here. So here I'm showing up so that we're acquiring pressure essentially. Right here, I don't commit to the fight, and I incited the fight, but I don't commit to it because, like I said, I know that right now getting the tower is what's needed. So right here, we get the damage done. I have the ult. We do the damage. Oh, that was not the last time that I died. That was the last time I died. But yeah, so the tower was the objective, and if I was a little bit more patient, we would have acquired that. So this is what happened. I mean, you guys already saw what happened. This is what should have happened. So I wanted to incite the fight. The enemy team is here. I don't need to apply pressure mid, and the reason why is because we have super minions going in there. So this is essentially it would have been better like my initial plan. The reason why I didn't go with my initial plan is because I knew that the enemy team, my team, was going to incite a fight without me. And when I allow my teammates that are from this elo to incite the fight on their own terms, they're not going to understand the terms that they are taking. So I personally wanted to be there so that I could control how the fights happen. And this is how it happens. What's up, One Punch Man? So right here, I go ahead and go and speed myself up because I know that. So I'm pointing with my fingers, and I know that I know that there's a fight inciting that's happening up here. So these guys are busy with their stuff. We have three guys here that can attack the Sivir. So I'm going to incite a fight in our area because these guys are busy with this fight. So I go in as if I'm going to go and commit to the fight. I attack, and when I attack, I back off. And the reason why I back off right here is because fighting was no longer my goal. My goal was to acquire the tower. So I turn around and attack the tower. T J4 has never been a threat the whole game, at least for me. So that's the reason why I wasn't necessarily scared, and I go back and attack the tower. Getting ulted here was a bad was which is due to bad positioning. I should have been down here. We acquired that. I should have backed off from here. So right here, I die there, I get hooked, and we wipe. That was just greedy right there, so I should have backed off right after we got the tower. But yeah, so I did what I initially wanted to do. I just keep getting greedy. Keep getting greedy at the end. Alright, let's fast forward this a little bit. The enemy team doesn't necessarily do anything to progress. So the next thing that they are trying to do is set up for Baron. But little like the reason why this is a bad idea is because we are also going to be doing that when we spawn, and we are relatively close to spawning. So let's see how things go. We know we can get there relatively quick. So here, I know, and they know that we want to get the Baron. They want to. We know that they want to get the Baron because they were just at Baron when we were spawning. We scared them off, and now we have the Baron to play with because now they have to deal with this wave as well as the next wave. So that Kanye is not actually there. It's glitched into Sivir. That's actually Sivir. So I know I don't know that they're here. I know that they're relatively close here in the bot lane. I do not know that Sivir has backed, but I know that they can't defend their tower, their base if they're at Baron. So this is a Baron play to not necessarily acquire Baron, but to just keep them here so that we can acquire bigger objectives in their base. Let the minions win for us. So here, our team does enough damage to where we can actually take the Baron. So if they let us take the Baron, let's take the Baron. So right here, even though Baron is not the play, you want to be in position to where if they do allow you to take the Baron, go ahead and take the Baron. So right here, we the Teemo gets caught because he went invisible in a awarded area, but it doesn't really matter. We're inciting a fight. We want them to stick around long enough to where the minions will take over. So there's that Kanye spinning around. So somebody gets caught. I'm pretty sure that's. I don't know who that is, honestly, because it's been glitched. It's not. It's Thresh. So that's Thresh. So Thresh gets caught. We kill Thresh. And then now is when we can go ahead and push, get the Baron, and then end the game. And it was all due, like, Baron was not the play. The play was to make the enemy team want to stop us from Baroning. But we didn't necessarily want Baron. So that's the goal. The goal was to not get Baron, but make the enemy feel like they need to stop us from getting Baron. But once we killed the enemy, we can get Baron to end the game. If we really wanted to, we didn't necessarily need to take the Baron. And that's the reason why I just go ahead and run through everything. It's because I know I could two-shot the inhibitor. Okay, excuse me, three-shot. And once one of their initiators is gone, it's like we can essentially just end the game. Oh wow. I don't know why I don't know why I called for the dragon. The better play right here would to be team fight 5v5 and get the towers. Oh no, I remember what I did here. I had to go do something. That was the reason why I couldn't end it. Because I believe I had to go help my sister with something. That's the reason why I'm just standing around for a little bit. And then help my sister, left, grab my stuff. Alright, and now this is just the end. We're just gonna go push, team fight. We have everything. And acquire it. So how are we going to set this team fight up? Uh, prior to everything happening, I asked the Pike to go top by pinging, and then the Pike is pushing that tower in. We already have supers mid and bot. As long as we keep the mid wave or the bot wave, preferably the mid wave because it's closer to the top because that's where we're gonna rotate. As long as we keep one of the waves empowered by the Baron, they have to stay there and defend, and they won't be able to defend our pressure point, which is top, because top is our objective right now. That's the reason why I'm here. As you notice, I'm not personally tanking the minions. I'm taking some hits and then I'm bringing them back slowly. Although I could heal, I don't want to. I don't want to just face tank them because that's when you get caught. I see that my team is already on the tower, so I go ahead and predator over because I know that a fight is going to ensue. So here, I position myself. So let's go back and look at that. I was very wary of where I was going because I ran really fast. I remember this game I was running around really fast. So I knew that this, I didn't think this was gonna hit, but I knew they were gonna fight. So I came around, and because I was moving so fast, I wanted to just come in and ult the whole wave here, because there's four people right here. But I knew that the J4 was about to come back in. I saw that, I moved back, moved to the right, and then that's when we get ulti, and I got stuck back here. And then I ulti the Camille, because the Camille was going to kill us. But yeah, this is all just me positioning away from where the threat was. So I'm over here poking as much as possible. J4 just revived. J4 is a non-threat. And we wipe up. And that's basically it. In my opinion, I dragged this game out relatively long, but if I remember correctly, I had to go deal with a lot of other stuff that I had to do. Um, yeah. So three things that I could have focused on was being more patient because I had some greedy plays. Um, two, what the Ari could have done during laning phase was be more aggressive and understand Ari's role during laning phase a lot more. It doesn't matter who you're up against. You can push the wave in without being exposed, and people, no matter what champion you are, they're going to have a relatively difficult time under the tower. And a lot of people will say that that's counterintuitive because you're going to be utilizing a ton of mana, but every time you're backing to get mana, they are trying to CS under the tower. So as long as you do it in a timely fashion and not push and then stand around and then try to back, as long as you push with your skills and then back immediately, you should relatively have no real loss there. And you should always be relatively in a safe position. You shouldn't be trading at all, etc. So yes, that concludes that. Yes, I had a lot of AP. And like I said, I set myself up through the whole game. I remember my theory behind the Sona mid was I wanted to try to incite. I wanted to try to find the most efficient way of climbing out of this elo just for fun. I've done it plenty of times, but I wanted to do it to where I had more fun, and I knew that this elo, um, they this is my final build right there. So this elo, the enemy team or your teammates typically respond to fights a lot. So they're responsive to fights, whether they're good at fighting or not. It's not they're not necessarily great at fighting, but they respond to fighting. So I wanted to play a champion that can incite fights and position myself in a place and have positional awareness to affect the way the team fights go, and hopefully that would win me the game. And so far, it's been working relatively well. Lux as well as Sona tends to do the trick. So I'm just running around and citing fights, and that is how that game went. So yeah, deuces.